Welcome to the FoundUps 3.0 presentation. FoundUps is a project that I started in 2009, and I actually shared it with Vitalik's Ethereum team in 2012. At the time, they were working on something called Small Planet. I described it to them as the Open Innovation Framework. I needed this framework built to establish something known as the Open Corp Cloud, and this Open Corp Cloud then would create all these different entities that then would ultimately change our entire business model built on a different system. Well, Vitalik went off and built Ethereum without really understanding the core problem of the planet, which is it's on a framework built on the idea of an infinite growth on a finite planet. So he went ahead and built the Open Innovation Framework, but didn't change the underlying method for running businesses on it, and that is their valuation. The entire market right now is speculation. Something to keep in mind, if you look at the market diffusion of cryptocurrency globally, we're at the 1% mark. Now, millions of people are coming in every month, and this mark is going to grow extremely quickly. So we're at 1% right now, and we're going to grow to, I'm guessing, within the next couple, 3, 4 years, 4 or 5 years, we're going to be at the early adoption stage, which is the 13.5. Everyone's getting into cryptocurrencies. Lots of people making billions of dollars because of their early speculation, and there is literally thousands of new tokens potentially every month in development going to be launching. So what is FoundUps? Well, FoundUps, think of FoundUps as the non-profit. Think of FoundUps as a completely transparent vehicle for saving our planet. Now, I'm not talking about the rock that we live on. I'm talking about the planet that we exist on, and the oceans and the forests and everything else, because currently our entire business model is built on the idea of taking advantage of these systems. It only places customers first, return to its stakeholders, and it's built on something called compounded annual growth rate. So if I was to kind of share with you a little bit more of what FoundUps are, you can read these paragraphs right here. What FoundUps does is it removes CAGR, which is compounded annual growth rate, as the underlying equation for powering it, and replaces it with something called CABR, or compounded annual benefit rate. And the benefit is based on metrics such as how do people feel about the corporation, what is the corporate, or not the corporation, the organization. Corporation is a bad term, right? How is the organization impacting the world, its community? How much of natural resources is it spending versus creating? All these things now are measurable, and that becomes the valuation of the FoundUps ecosystem, and it replaces this valuation that we currently have. And the new thing for FoundUps this year is it introduces the idea of the DANO. The DANO is a decentralized, autonomous, non-profit organization. Now, nonprofits, in my view, kind of are negative. I used to raise quite a bit of money for them when I worked for National Community Development Services. And for the most part, there are some good ones out there, but for the most part, they exist just to keep their hierarchy in power. They do these capital campaigns just to keep them going for the next 3 to 5 years, where they don't have to raise money, and that's been their cycle. And a lot of these top individuals get paid literally millions of dollars. If you look at the donation dollar versus the cost ratio, I don't know if that's the right term, but basically 70 cents on the dollar is going to upkeep. Now, with the DANO, imagine 100%, pretty much 100% of what is contributed to a DANO goes into creating and helping and build those solutions. Everything is 100% transparent. There is no hidden fees or anything else. It's all laid out. And not only that, it is governed by autonomous agent that replaces the need of shareholders. It replaces the need of of these hierarchical entities, and with just the idea of volunteers, these volunteers can start, can become strong advocates for Adano. And just like Iacocca became the CEO of FoundUps, we don't have CEOs, we don't have titles, but any old stakeholder can become the top delegate, which means the representatives, the spokesman. And we're already seeing this in many respects in social media and other things. These individuals coming out and having huge followers, they're called amplifiers, and these amplifiers ultimately can be elected into delegate positions. And as a volunteer of Adano, you can actually, put your vote behind them. I'm going to make a series of talks. This is the first one. This is just to get your interest in FoundUps. If you want to learn more about FoundUps, go to foundups.com, Skype me at FoundUp, and let's talk about what we're going to do and how are we going to transform the planet from a selfish one to a selfless one. Selfish to selfless. Thanks. And remember, the revolution starts with you.